Hey everybody, welcome back. Marcus Graves back again with another reaction to The Mandalorian, this time to episode 7 of season 2, chapter 15. Now, one thing, it's Saturday, one day after the episode dropped. Most channels, at least for this show, have been in the habit of either uploading their reaction that night, or Saturday, mostly that night. Going into this episode, one minor spoiler, possibly. One reaction had Pedro Pascal's face in the thumbnail. So he must take it off at some point, I'm assuming. If it's in my feed, I follow these channels, I see it. And it's like, oh, scroll, keep scrolling before you see something that you don't want to see. But most of the ones I saw were just Bill Burr. And I'm like, yeah, I know he's coming back, so whatever. I don't know. If you enjoyed the upcoming video, please like, comment, share, subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other content that I have on there. And head on over to my Patreon page. The link is down below in the pinned comment. All types of exclusive content and benefits over there. Head on over there if you're so inclined. And with that, let's get on into it. Took a long ass time for that Lucasfilm logo to come up. Well, for a second I thought we were back on Trask, but they could have similar machines, you know, retrofitting walkers and all that. IG? NIG, anyway? Oh no. No, it's the Republic droid.
Inmate 34667. Inmate 34667. Inmate 34667. Inmate 34667.
God damn, that's annoying.
You gonna tell me where you're taking me? Hello?
Slave 1.
That's so hard to ask, do you? You know, for a second I thought you were this other guy.
He spruced up his armor, Boba. The Believer. And like I said, or like I theorized a few videos ago, if Mando, with all of this interaction he's had, is going to start questioning his creed, maybe that will provide answers to this possible spoiler.
Okay, if you can get me in there, I can get you the coordinates.
Fed, punch in the coordinates to Morak.
Copy that.
We got a squad, man.
Looks like Rhydonium. Highly volatile and explosive.
Kinda like this one, huh?
For a second I thought we were in the rundown.
We don't have time for this. Fennec will go.
No, I'm wanted by the ISB.
Fett,
Let's just say they might recognize my face.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll go.
So unless you're gonna take off that helmet, it's gonna be me going in alone. Or say goodbye to your little green friend.
Little green friend.
But I won't be showing my face.
Prisoner. Oh, or steal their gear.
Oh my god, this guy reeked. His gloves are still wet.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame you're not coming along with us. You got such a sunny disposition. Feels better when it's off.
What goes down on this
Don't worry
road?
about the Rhydonium.
Yeah, oh, okay, that's right. Because I'm like, those were those transport vehicles, but yeah, that's right. Highly volatile, highly explosive.
You and I are nothing alike.
Well, seems to me like your rules start to change when you get desperate. Is it that you can't take off your Mando helmet, or you
Can't show your face.
Because
The hell? Pirates.
We have thermal detonators.
Terrific.
Just keep it steady.
Get these guys off us! Get
was that little small oneer.
They're trying to blow the Rhydonium.
Think? You should have left me in prison!
Those look like Sessetin's species. I think it is his species. They look a little different. They're a little more greenish, bluish. Some of them. He was more orange. But... Oh. Also with Sesse, his tails looked more like horns. These look more like Leku for these guys. I don't know. They look like the same species. And this is where the helmet comes off. Ooh. Oh, oh shit. Damn. This is the first time we've heard triumphant sounding music in conjunction with Imperials. It's a little weird. This is really strange. I'm about to say, yeah, nobody's going to recognize him. I get the grunts won't, but someone I was thinking would have had to recognize him.
Give me the data stick.
It's not gonna work. In order to access the network, terminal has to scan your face.
Well, once again, the code is no living thing has seen my face. As long as you're inconspicuous and tilt your head a certain way, that can still remain true.
Facial scan in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
See,
5, 4.
I get that maybe that moment was to maybe convey some hesitancy on his part to do it, but it's like, you know, it has to scan your face. Why keep the helmet on? What? Cause see, by having the facial recognition scan you and fail, you now bring attention to yourself.
I'm Imperial Combat Assault Transport Lieutenant TK-111, sir. And I'm afraid you're gonna have to speak up to him a little bit, since his vessel lost pressure in Taynab.
Taynab or the Battle of Taynab?
What's your name, officer?
Is that the one who plays Joe Chill in Batman Begins?
Let's get a drink.
No longer he has to keep his helmet off.
Entire city gone in moments, along with everybody in it. We lost our whole division that day.
I wonder what conflict the Mando will have.
Well, it's a small sacrifice for the greater good.
Don't do this now. I wonder what the conflict the Mando will have, because he doesn't know he's a Mandalorian, so he's not seeing a Mandalorian's face. You know, I guess
Was it good
that
for
goes into what
their families?
Mayfield was saying.
Guys I served with?
How particular are the rules?
Poor mud scuffers died defending their homes, fighting for freedom. Was it good for them?
You see, with the Rhydonium you've delivered, we can create havoc that's gonna make burning Khan just pale by comparison. And then they're gonna turn to us. See, boys, everybody thinks they want freedom.
Damn, Bill Burr.
To the Empire.
Whoo! Well, fuck it.
You did what you had to do.
never saw your face.
Hmm.
3 shooters.
You see how he stiffened up?
Hand me that cycler rifle.
Nice shot.
Didn't do what you expected him to do. Hmm. We all need to sleep at night. Oh, the charges! Boom! Yeah!
You know, it's too bad Mayfeld didn't make it out alive back then.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Does that mean I can go?
Does that mean I'm good? Like, what's going on here?
I will.
Scram.
You should see this.
Moff Gideon.
I didn't see this play happening.
He means more to me
Than you will ever know.
than you will ever know.
Hey everybody, if you're enjoying the content, please consider heading on over to my Patreon page and becoming a patron. Not only will you be helping to support the channel, you'll also gain access to exclusive content and benefits such as early access to my videos, full reactions, and my Patreon Discord. So, if you're so inclined, head on over to my Patreon page, the link is down below in the pinned comment, and become a patron. This episode in particular is more about the character of Mayfeld. Before I get into him, let's address Din Djarin for a second. Now, the basic theme of this episode was desperation, what one will do when their backs are up against the wall. He wants his child back. He wants Grogu back. What is he willing to do? What is he willing to sacrifice in order to do that? But don't get it twisted. When I say, why did the character do this, such as when he went up to the scanner and took his helmet off, it's like you knew they had to scan your face. It wasn't a thing of like, oh, well, if I was in this position, I would have. That's always a fallacious argument because it's not you. It's a character, and the character has a certain set of characteristics that they should be if written with, at the very least, competency. Will walk within those parameters unless something conflicts with that. In this case, you have the conflict. He needs to do this in order to get blah, 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 blah. When I ask that question, it's more of a question of why is the character themselves, what is their motivation for doing this particular thing? You could say hesitancy over his creed. I simply wonder if it would have been stronger to show that hesitancy before he gets to the panel. The character gets to the panel, allows the panel to scan the entire daggone helmet, and then it says, oh, failed, and it's like, well, yeah, duh. Yeah, it's like, what? I simply wonder if you had showed the hesitancy before he gets there, like he's walking to it and he stops for a second. People, some kind of look because a trooper just stopped in the middle of nowhere, and they kind of look, and he looks to them and maybe does something to try to play it off again, but to show like, okay, yeah, he is struggling to get there. Even if he gets to the panel and he does like this, you know, like he's preparing himself to do something where it's like, why is the character just walking? I'm walking. Let me get to the panel and hope that it actually scans this and thinks it's a face. Okay, I'm going back through the footage right now, and I'll put it up here. To be fair, he grabs the data stick, pushes past Mayfeld. There is a slight pause here as he looks to the officers. He's moving a little slowly, and he does put his hand to his helmet and kind of like wait a second, in a hesitant type of way. Okay, to be fair, I'll give you that. However, I did see that when in the midst of the reaction, my thought was that he was trying to play it off as if he was getting like a code or something. Because he puts it here. It doesn't look like he's about to take a helmet off. It looks like he's, getting a transmission or something, So that's what I first thought. when seeing it. But to be fair, maybe that was to convey exactly what I'm saying. Okay. Maybe. It could have maybe stood to have been emphasized a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. When it comes to Mayfeld, you delve more into his character. His character is developed a bit more. He's a mercenary, so we knew about his pragmatism, his self-preservationistic mindset. Here, we get a bit more of what was shown, yet not really touched upon in episode 6 of season 1. What I mean by that is, remember when they were breaking out the Twilight brother, and he says, what about your sister? What about her? Nice family. Yeah, it could have been, I think most people just saw that as like an aside, like, oh, nice family. But here, you delve more into that and see how comrative he is. And by comrative, I mean how much about his team and his comrades he is. Talking about, he said, people I served with. Well, how many we lost? 5, 10,000 people I served with. You think their families are good? So he's already about his comrades. They convey that he's about his comrades. They convey that he's collateral damage, resentful, and regretful. And then you think, how does that reconcile with what we know of him in episode 6? Well, we know he's a mercenary. He was willing to kill Davin because he was in the way of the mission. So we could say that Mayfeld is also mission-oriented, but also pragmatic when it comes to the mission. When it comes to collateral damage, anything that doesn't have to do, lives lost that didn't have to be lost, his comrades, civilians, lives that were lost that didn't have to be. Now he has a problem. So, is that in conflict with some of his pragmatism? It can be. Not necessarily contradictory. Conflict and contradiction are two different things. And hearing about more collateral damage that they're willing to flippantly perform spurs his decision at the end, which also allows him his freedom. So not only is this episode, what are you willing to do in order to achieve your goal, but what is the regret that happens after you do that? So we see with Mando, what are you willing to do? With Mayfeld, we see how much do you regret after the fact. Now, what are we going to see from Mando now, after the fact? What is the conflict there? What is his rationale? What is his comfortability level? We'll find out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other content that I have on there. My short films, reactions, reviews, video essays, my Graves plays, all that good stuff that's on there, and much, much more to come. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.